Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
It is picked off by the line. Darius Slay's got it. Coming back right side 25. Picks up a block at the 30. Darius at the 40.
Drink it in, drink it in. Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
Rolls to the right. Stafford throws deep. Got a man out there. End zone. Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Marvin Jones.
Stafford! Drink it in, drink it in.
Touchdown, Detroit Lions. Cornbread.
Stafford! Drink it in, drink it in, drink it in, man.
Detroit Koolaid, what is going on, everybody? Monday in the house. Fantasy football flavor. Now, I couldn't remember last week if I sort of signed off and told you guys we were done, but I had this extra Monday, and next week, be dropping on 12:30. I'll be dropping my new show, which is on the Believe Podcasting Network, BLEAV. It's going to be Believe in Lions, so I'm excited about that. We're kind of getting all the stuff ready, dotting some I's, sort of getting things together for that. So if all goes well, that'll be debuting on 12:30 there. But I thought I'd jump on here because one thing I've talked about on the podcast here on the Fantasy Football Flavor, we've been talking fantasy football all season long, is that if you're going to talk smack, if you're going to come out and just sort of have fun with your buddies or mess around with your coworkers who you're in fantasy football leagues with, you gotta talk smack early and often, and then you gotta back it up. I mean, there's nothing worse, right, than a guy that's like silent, plays the humble thing, and then comes on and says, "I told you so." Well, I hate to do it, but I told you so. On the Detroit Koolaid Cast League, the league that I ran, we threw together quick, got a bunch of great listeners in there. I laid in the weeds all year long, middle of the pack. Oh, my team's hurt. I'm just trying to hang in there. Made a few trades, picked up Miles Sanders, mid to late in the year before he blew up. A couple other sneaky moves. I even traded with Ribble. I think it was Julio basically for Odell. We all know how that basically worked out in the long haul. But my team sneaks in the playoffs at the 8th seed. 8 out of 8, comes through in round 1, upset again in round 2 against my guy Aaron in the league. Aaron, when he beat me in the regular season, was talking a little bit of noise. He joked, hopefully we'll see ourselves, in the playoffs or in the finals. We did, only I took care of him that time when it counted. And then I find myself in the championship against Obi, against Justin, against team name Go Pack Go. I mean, if there's anybody that the fantasy football flavor right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast platform wants to beat down, it's Go Pack Go in the finals. So again, as I've said on the show, it's crazy how every week it's basically straight up 50-50 when the week starts. That's what this one was. I think there was a few points separating me and Justin's team. The finals of the DKC, and sure enough, it was a crazy matchup. I mean, Justin has Jameis Winston going, who threw 4 INTs, yet he still came up with 335 and only the 1 touchdown. So that was kind of a lackluster day for him. I was debating between David Carr, Dwayne Haskins. David Carr or Derek Carr, Dwayne Haskins. And then I was just like, let me just throw in Dwayne Haskins at the end of the day. Like, he has a good matchup. He used to live in New Jersey, I think. He's playing against the Giants. They can't D up anybody. Like, this will probably be good. Haskins comes out the gate, has 2 TEs and over 100 yards before you can blink. And then before I can even get excited about that, he's down on the ground, ankle injury, out of the ball game. Going down the list here, I mean, he had Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey did what he did, put up, over 120, 50 yards all purpose, 23.5 points. Leonard Fournette did what he's been doing, which is sort of a lackluster performance, yet he still ended up put up 11.5 points, probably around that 100 yards total. Miles Sanders, baby, came through for me big again, 79 and a touchdown with some receiving yards, 22.5 points. Gotta love it. Austin Eckler, the fantasy darling of the year, when it's all online and a championship, comes up with a very poor performance, only 8.5 points, 11 yards rushing. I mean, he did not do it for Justin's team. Let's see what else we got here. I had Allen Robinson, kind of a below level game for him, only 8 points. Another guy that killed Justin. I think he got hurt really early in the ball game. 1 catch for 1 yard. DJ Moore, the Big Hughes' boy, one of his favorite players, who again played good all year, did not play good in this game, and I don't feel bad about it one bit. Jarvis and Odell combined for over 20, nearly 25 points for me. I'll take that. Justin had John Ross and Greg Ward. They came up with 20, so kind of a wash there from two our pairs of receivers. This is where it swung right here. I mean, Justin has Austin Hooper again, been balling out all year. I mean, I hate to admit it, but again, I might as well talk smack after the fact since I already started. Justin 12-1 in the regular season. I'm not sure who beat him, but congrats. I'm pretty dang sure it wasn't me. 7-6. I creeped along in the regular season and then rode the wave to this championship. Dallas Goedert, who I picked up from Ribble in the trade. He thought it was just a throw-in. I kind of mixed him up with a couple other players. Took on Justice Hill, took on Odell. Oh, by the way, just throw in Dallas Goedert for me, knowing that if Zach Ertz ever went down, he's a TE1, no doubt about it. Dallas Goedert, 91, 9 catches, touchdown, 20 points from the tight end. Gotta love it. I have no idea, because I saw Christian Kirk out on the field this whole ball game. He put up a goose egg for a goose egg again. I mean, about as bad as Tyler Lockett's been recently, where multiple weeks in a row Tyler Lockett has been garbage. Christian Kirk, though, with just an absolute zero zinco. But for some reason, Justin's playing Kelvin Harmon, who we all know is, barely done anything all year, just kind of a good college player that's probably not going to produce very much at the NFL level. I mean, got him 7.5 points, but still. The Jags D, who used to be incredible, put up a -1 for Justin. I'm limping along there with the Raiders D. They got me 4 points. And the Miami kicker got me 7. Justin got 8 from his kicker. I mean, kickers are people too, but we're not going to waste time talking about them. I mean, 21 big points from Derek Carr sitting on my bench. That would have been the better play. I also had Rojo sitting on my bench, 17.5. Albert Wilson did some things. Justice Hill actually came through with, I think, his first touchdown of the year. And, I'm looking at Justin's roster. He really didn't have much to complain about. He basically played his best overall team, and it just wasn't good enough when it came down to it. The championship, the world heavyweight undisputed championship was on the line in the Detroit Koolaid Cast League. You know who came through. Let's go ahead and hit that music right now. Oh yeah, you know who that is. That's that BMF walk. That's me with the DKC championship, getting up on all 4 turnbuckles, showing you and everybody else what it's about. It's about the gold. It's about the championship belt when it's all said and done. And the fantasy football flavor took it home. So the inaugural year, it's only fitting that the champ is the owner, the founder, the CEO of Detroit Koolaid. So I thought I'd jump on here real quick, give you guys some smack talk, have a little bit of fun with it. Again, I also want to circle back. So this new show is going to be starting again on Monday, December 30th. Should be our first show. The plan is I'm going to have guest hosts every week, and then maybe down the line we may even have a former Lion, or we might have some front office people on the show. That's the hope, at least. We'll kind of see how it goes. I'm still going to be doing the Detroit Koolaid Cast on, losing my breath here, on Wednesday and on Friday. So that'll stay as is, no changes there. Me and Grifka, along with different hosts and different things sprinkled in and out. Looking forward to doing both of those, so make sure you're on top of that. And please support it. Like I say, it's a new project. I hope all you guys that kind of enjoy the Koolaid Cast will come along and listen there. It's a different platform. We're hoping to reach more people, hoping to do new things, have different voices, different new gimmicks, different things on the show that we can laugh about, but it's going to be a show where we definitely, preach that positive Detroit Lions. We're going to talk about why this team could turn it around, why to be excited about the NFL draft, how they can, capitalize on free agency off of what they did last year. Look at the roster, look at the, a lot of the people that'll be on. We love team building. We love sort of diving into the head of Bob Quinn, seeing what he's thinking, see who he brings in, and we'll talk all about it. We'll probably spend shows where we just break down draft prospects, for either a full show or long segments, and give you all the ins and outs, the things we see, the things we've read, why they fit the Lions, why they don't, why they should take that position, why that position is overvalued, where the draft is deep. We're hoping to do all types of things on that show. But please follow me over there, and let me take a quick break, get our sponsors in, and when I come back, I'm just going to kind of put a cap on this fantasy football flavor show. I had a little fun off the top talking smack about me winning the championship, and now I'm just going to leave you guys with some fantasy football thoughts, where I'm headed with the Fantasy Football Weekly article on Lions Wire, all types of things like that, and closing up kind of that 2019 fantasy season, but super excited about 2020 and beyond. So let's take a quick break. I'll be right back.
Spring is here, and you can now get almost anything you need for your sunny days delivered with Uber Eats. What do we mean by almost? Well, you can't get a well-groomed lawn delivered, but you can get a chicken parmesan delivered. A cabana? That's a no. But a banana? That's a yes. A nice tan? Sorry, nope. But a box fan? Happily, yes. A day of sunshine? No. A box of fine wines? Yes. Uber Eats can definitely get you that. Get almost anything delivered with Uber Eats. Order now. Alcohol in select markets. Product availability may vary by region. See app for details.
Ah, yes, the magnificent Trolley Sour Bright Crawler, also known as Trollicus brightolus. The worm's captivating neon colour makes it an easy, gummy prey.
Trolley!
It's a surprisingly sour, invitingly chewy, staggeringly snackable species unlike anything else found on this planet.
Eat me!
Delicious. Visit Trolley.com to shop now.
Trolley, eat me!
All right, everybody, we're back. I can't say it enough how appreciative I am of everybody that's listened to the show, that's commented, that's got at me on Twitter at Derek Oakrey to ask fantasy questions, talk football. I've said that a million times. I'll continue to say it. I tried to write it up in my last Fantasy Football Weekly, how appreciative I was and how excited I am that I can continue hopefully doing all the stuff I'm doing, as well as expand on it, in 2020 and beyond. So look for that. I hope you guys will continue to both support and enjoy the content, as well as, interact with me so we can talk football, which we all love. So to kind of put a cap on this fantasy season, I know for a lot of people, it was one of those seasons where it felt like there was a lot of injuries from, week 1 to here and all the way in week 15, 16, we're playing our championships. The biggest thing, as much as I joked off the top that I did sort of in the Detroit Koolaid Cast League, was, I kept hanging on to my top players. I made a few trades. Again, I don't go out and send 8 million trade offers. I sort of just sit there, and if there's an opportunity or if somebody comes to me with a trade, I try to do some quick counters and get a deal done as quick and as fairly as possible. I was able to do that a couple times. And like you say, sometimes those trades don't work out right away. Sometimes you have to sort of sit there, hang on to those people and say, this isn't working right now, but it doesn't mean get rid of them. It doesn't mean it was a bad trade, because towards the end of the year, Miles Sanders, Dallas Goedert, picking up with Dwayne Haskins on the waiver wire, a few other moves I did, flipping out my defense, holding on, putting Odell in week after week after week when he didn't do anything, and then he comes up in the championship with 44 and that late touchdown in that ball game that really helped sort of get me over the top. 108 to 88.5 was the final in that championship. So pretty comfortable win, but also like it was pretty nip and tuck all day to the back half of the contest there, where I think it was Miles Sanders, that basically got me over the hump and got me a nice little lead there. So that was good to see. But like I say, going back to fantasy football, I really encourage you, if you guys really love fantasy football and know that's probably as close as any of us will ever get to being a GM or being able to construct our own team, I really encourage you again to get in some of these dynasty leagues. Get in these leagues that, you may have strayed away from or stayed away from because you thought, it's too much work. I don't have the time. I just want to do a quick, simple league with my work folks. I'm telling you, if you get in the right league with great people, if you're willing to hang in there and sort of build a team and figure out the rules and sort of get all geeky when it comes to that kind of stuff, it really is a fun time. From basically, some of the dynasty leagues, you might do a rookie draft in April or May, and then before you know it, it's, July, August, where those drafts and things are kicking off. It just gives you a couple extra more months of fantasy football. And like I say, rookies, if you love the draft, there's nothing better than doing dynasty and doing those rookie drafts. So like I say, dive into those. I mean, if you're a fringe fantasy football fan and you just like the smaller leagues, 8, 10, 12 team leagues, that's fine too. Like I said, on this show, we try to talk more global stuff rather than, get down into the minute stats or give you all these different projections, because they might not apply to your league. You know what I mean? When I try to talk to you guys, it's about strategy. It's about little, things in the rules. It's about doing these little things that sort of give you the edge that other people maybe aren't doing. Those are all the kind of things that I'm trying to bring to the table and that I've tried to bring to this podcast. So like I say, for me, it was just like, hey, as much as I've been doing with, the multiple pods a week and diving in with Pro Football Focus and doing the Lions Wire writing and all types of stuff I got my hands in creatively, I was like, I really would just love to turn on the mic and talk fantasy football. So me and Chuck got this thing started, had a lot of fun joking back and forth and coming up with some fun things for you. Chuck, just busy life, lots of things going on, couldn't really commit to it the way he had hoped. So, he bowed out. I kind of took it solo, allowed me a little bit more freedom to do some things. And then also, hopefully in the future, we'll be able to still have Chuck on different shows. We brought him on for when his Cowboys played the Lions. Got his take a couple times this year. That was fun. And you've heard the Big Hughes on this show. You've heard other people that I know love fantasy football and able to bring them on. And I hope I'll be able to continue that in the future in some different capacities, whether it be on the Koolaid Cast or maybe it's just some different ways that I continue to talk fantasy football with you. I'm really hoping to continue the Lions Wire, whether it be with a fantasy football weekly or next year. I know some of the weeklies, weren't, well, I mean, got good feedback across the board, but I know when I wrote a couple of those profile articles about Hawkinson, TJ Hawkinson, let me say it right, and Kenny, and talked about Stafford being a sleeper, all that type of stuff, a little bit more Lions-centric. I know you guys love that check out that website. So we'll see what I do. If I do maybe weekly, maybe I'll do some more profile articles. Maybe I'll do some mid-season rewards. Lots of things I want to do this year. It just came down to time, opportunity, as well as just trying to balance everything across the board. So like I say, I hope you guys won your leagues. I hope you had a bunch of fun throughout the year. I hope you rode the wave of the ups and downs, the injuries, the ins, the outs, the close losses, the incredible victories by a point or less. I'm sure we've all had them. And if you're as competitive as I am, you don't want to lose. It really hurt me this whole year in this throw-in league, basically, that we did for the listeners, the Koolaid Cast, to be struggling and to be taking some L's. But I thought, man, if I hang in there, if I get in the playoffs, I did a whole episode on if you get in, you got a chance. I think another podcast I listened to says you chip in a chair. You got a chip in a chair and a chance, and that's really all you need when it comes down to fantasy football. I know me and the Big Hughes and a couple of my other buddies, we came out on the short end in a couple of leagues for the same reason, because a few teams snuck in and just had that crazy good week when they didn't really have that great of a year, but come that Sunday, Monday, Thursday combo, they were able to put up some crazy points and edge us out in a couple matchups, which is tough to swallow, but that's kind of the game. That's kind of the any given Sunday that I always talk about. So just want to do a shorter show here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you have fun. I hope you get in some of those deeper leagues. Hit me up on Twitter if you want to get in a few really fun leagues that I do. We always kind of have people coming in and out, a few teams every year, so I may have an open team if you want to grab it. And other than that, I hope you keep enjoying fantasy football. I hope you keep supporting the Detroit Lions. It's been a really tough year, but I know that things are going to not only turn around, I really think that they can do some special things in the next few years, nail this draft, get a few players in free agency, get some of their guys healthy, and surprise some teams next year, where a lot of people be sleeping on the Detroit Lions when they roll into town. I think that could be great. So I'm having a blast talking about it with you guys. I'm having a lot of fun with my friends jumping on here. I love, having the Logans on the show, Eric Schlitt, all these people that were so kind this year to come on both the Koolaid Cast, Fantasy Football Flavor, whatever it is. I can't thank all you guys enough for doing that, making the time, as well as everybody for listening. Like I say, there's so many options out there. The fact that you would pull me up, listen to this, and enjoy, laugh, and hopefully learn, as well as just enjoy. Like I say, fantasy football, as competitive as we are, as much as we want to win, you have to find a way to have fun with it, good, bad, and otherwise. And I think everybody that I've interacted with has done that, and that's what I'm about, is finding the fun, the positive in things, as well as just not being afraid to admit that we love football, and we love the Lions, and we love fantasy football. So everybody, take care. This is the champ signing out, Detroit Koolaid Cast. Assuming in 2020 that I'm going to be the champ, so you can call me double champ, you can call me whatever you want. But looking forward to that, and looking forward to keeping all this going. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And for now, for this year's final episode of the Fantasy Football Flavor, I'm going to get up out of here. You guys have a great week. Check us out on the Koolaid Cast. And Believe in Lions, coming to you Monday, 12/30/19, kicking off, and coming to you every week, talking Detroit Lions, rebuilding that team, draft, free agency, all those great things we love in the off season. It's that time of year. I can't wait for that to start. And like I say, put this year of fantasy football in the books. The championships are done. The rosters are frozen for now, but before you know it, we'll be back open, and we'll be back rolling again with our teams. So again, I'll just say this, everybody, have a great week, have a great weekend, depending on when you're listening to this. And for now, for me and the Fantasy Football Flavor right here on the Detroit Koolaid Cast, this is where I always try to pay tribute to my man, Jim Rome. You guys know how we end most of the shows, but on this show, because it's the last Fantasy Football Flavor for the fantasy football season, because I'm so excited to see what comes in the future, and I thank you guys so much for listening. I think it's only fitting, instead of to say, I'm out, to say, good night now!
Pack the bag, start the plane, this game is over! It is over! What a comeback by the Lions!
Drink it in, man.